Εξομολογήστε τον Κύριο διαγατός, αλληλούια, ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
We like to continue on your whole thing about how Muhammad's morality, in the Quran and the Hadith, we need to learn about, because they say that he's the highest standard of that people of the world should follow him as his moral standard. So I think we want to continue where you left off last week. And can you tell us where you left off? What was it that you talked about last week about this?
This is the second part. Last time we talked about the moral of Prophet Muhammad, and referring to the Quran and Hadith, he has the best moral. And we mentioned 4 things about Muhammad, and we're gonna finish the rest. But I'm gonna make a resume of what we said last time, quick, about the moral of Prophet Muhammad. We mentioned so many hadith and verses of Quran talking about Muhammad as the best man ever lived, and he has the best moral character. And I just mentioned one. I'll take just one verse of Quran. Allah said in chapter 68, verse 4, and you are truly a man of outstanding character.
Outstanding character.
Outstanding character. So that's enough. So you can go to all hadith and you're gonna find so many about Muhammad and his characters. And we started with the marriage of Muhammad to Aisha, and we did mention the Sahih Bukhari, hadith 3894, which is a long hadith, and we mentioned that Muhammad married Aisha when she was 6, and
I think we should move the cameras a little bit over here so it's not on the way. Just move your cameras over here this way, because people are going this way. Just move the cameras this way, right here. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
No,
Yeah.
you have to stand this way.
Okay, that's fine. All right,
and
let's
he
go with
slept
this.
with her when she was 9.
Okay, there we go.
It's a long hadith, and you can go. We explained the hadith last time, and we mentioned another hadith. Muhammad wanted to marry the daughter of his uncle Abbas, and she was just a baby. She was just 2 years. And
2 years. Why would he want to marry a 2-year?
No idea, to be honest, what's going on in his head.
So why didn't he marry her? I mean, if he wanted to marry her, why didn't he marry
died.
her?
3 years later, the Muhammad died. So, and he said in his hadith, that's in Musnad Imam Ahmed, in 26329, 26329. If you reach, if she reached puberty while I am still alive, I will marry her. And Muhammad at that time was over 60. So we know. And
So-
he's talking to Abbas about
Who's his
daughter.
cousin? His cousin.
His
yeah?
cousin Abbas.
Okay. So his daughter. So he at 60 he wanted to marry his cousin's daughter.
He wants still getting married to young girls, but so I don't know what's going in his head. Something like.
But this is the thing is that he's a moral man. Allah said he's a moral man. So in Islam that means it's a moral thing to marry 3-year-old girl.
The problem here, he had so many wives.
Yeah.
So we know Muhammad died. When he died, there were 9 wives still alive, and he married about 11. Some of them they go up to 16 women.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Depend with sources.
Right.
But very authentic, he had 11 wives. So why you want to marry more and more? Even.
But why didn't he have any children like his sons? Why did Allah always kill his sons?
He had sons. He had when he was before he was prophet. He had the son. His name Qasim. He died.
Yeah, but why would Allah kill his son? I mean, he's his favorite
No
prophet.
idea.
If
And-
Allah really loved Muhammad, Allah would not let his son die.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
He had another son with another Egyptian slave, Maria, His name
But
Ibrahim.
I
he
thought they
died as
said
well.
he married her.
No, she stayed slave. He didn't marry her.
So he had a
Most of the
so he had a son out of wedlock.
yes. She
That
was
would be a
slave.
bastard.
Could be, yeah.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow.
And we mentioned hadith, another hadith.
So that's a moral man. I mean, that's like
that's
really
that's
the height of morality.
outstanding.
like you marry, you have son with your slave woman.
And he didn't marry her. That's the problem. Why he didn't marry her? He was spending a lot of time referring to Aisha. There's a hadith about Aisha. She said Muhammad was when Maria she came from Egypt as a slave with her sister. She had a sister as well. Muhammad was spending a lot of time with her, and Aisha was jealous. Even Hafsa was the wife of Muhammad was jealous.
Did he send her to her father's house? Like he said,
No,
I won't have
no.
sex with her anymore. Who was it that he promised he won't have sex with her
He
anymore?
promised Hafsa, his other wives.
Yeah. So he sent her to her father's house, saying, "Your father called you." And while she was there, the father said, I didn't call you. And then she came home and found he was having sex with her.
Having sex in her bed. She was
In her
upset.
bed.
And,
But
she wasn't.
but then Allah came to his rescue, right? He
Yeah,
said,
come to his
"Why do
rescue.
you deny yourself what we offer?" Did Allah give him this sex slave?
So yeah,
So Allah is telling him that it's okay to have sex slaves and have sex with them.
Hafsa wasn't upset because he's having sex with the slave. No, she was upset because he's having sex with her in her bed.
Oh, really?
So-
But I thought he promised her that he wouldn't have sex with her anymore.
Yeah, he promised her. After that, Muhammad received wahi somehow.
Allah came to the rescue.
Jibreel come to rescue very quick. Talk us quickly. Number 5, Prophet Muhammad exterminate. Pay attention, exterminate a whole tribe, Bani Qurayza. I'm not going through if they betrayed Muhammad or not. I'm not going through that. Let's say, my question is to Muslim and to Muhammad: Did the people of did all the people of Bani Qurayza betrayed Muhammad? Did the children of from 8 or 9 years betrayed Muhammad? Did the old people, very old people, betrayed Muhammad? Definitely not. So why are you killing them?
Yeah, if somebody broke a treaty, he could kill those people or their commander or whoever.
That's why are you killing?
But why would
there were
Allah say kill all the people?
Some historians say there were up to 900, and there were children from age of 8 or 9. Imagine that children.
Is that
from
where
9
they said if they have pubic hair,
and they were checking if they go pubic hair.
then kill them?
Some of them they were same age.
Really?
Children, brothers, they were same age.
Yeah.
They separate them. If someone grew a hair, they kill him, and the other one they leave him still alive. As
Wow.
slave. And
That's very high morals, man.
even
That's
the
like
way,
the highest
even the
morals
way
you
they
can
were
have.
killing them, chopping their head. Imagine child. Just have a look at the mothers looking at their children getting killed. I mean, it's terrible. Why you do that?
But then afterwards, those women, he also had sex with one of them, right?
And he took one slave, Rayhana, her name Rayhana. He took her slave.
Was she the one that killed the father?
There's some historian Muslim. They say if you go to Sirah Halabiya, you found they say there were about 1,000 between women and children left as slaves, and they sold them. Imagine, Muhammad, what he did, he divided them to 3. Some of them sold them in Syria, some of them sold them to Najd. That Najd is the area of Riyadh now, capital of Saudi. And they were kuffar, they were no Muslim. He sold this slave to kuffar, to no believers. Which is, they say, Shafi'i say that's it. Shafi'i himself said that's okay for Muslim to sell slave to no believers because Muhammad did it. So that's Sunnah. And
So he was a good businessman, no?
I mean, he was did come to Prophet or that business with slaves. And we're gonna go.
It's okay in Islam to sell slaves to kuffar.
Sorry.
Is it okay to sell slaves to kuffar in Islam? If you go on a war and then you get some prisoners, slaves, can you sell them to other?
Well, you have an expert on the side of you. I'm thinking you're asking the expert.
He's showing me how Muhammad was doing that.
Well, he's an expert, so I think you're in good hands.
We're going to say collective punishment is a criminal idea. That's what we're going to say.
True.
And I'm going to go to number 6, assassination. And
Talking about the morals, high morals of your Prophet of Islam.
Sorry?
High morals of the Prophet of Islam. High morals, high.
we're going to mention some assassination, not all of them. Muhammad did so many, but I'm going to mention the most authentic assassination. One of them is named Ka'b bin al-Ashraf. He was Jewish, he was living in Medina, and he was just criticizing Muhammad by poem. He was good in poem. So Muhammad sent his brother, imagine, he sent the brother of Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, his brother from breastfeeding, not his, during the night, with three more people, some of them they say only 2, so there were 4, to Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, and they called him, he was in his house, so they called him, he come down from his house, and they assassinate him. And Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, before his wife told him, when she saw these 4 men, she told him she doesn't trust them. Don't go to. And Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, what he said to his wife, he said, if a generous person were called to stop him, stopping attack at night, he would respond. So imagine, in Arabic it's it's very beautiful. So Ka'b bin al-Ashraf has more moral courage than even Prophet Muhammad. And
why did he assassinate him?
Because he was criticizing Muhammad.
Oh, he was writing poetry against Muhammad.
He was telling poetry, and he was criticizing Muhammad for fighting his own tribe, Quraysh. Because that happened after Battle of Uhud, Battle of Uhud. So Ka'b bin al-Ashraf wasn't happy with that. Why are you fighting your own people?
So why was he fighting his own people?
To spread Islam. So.
Oh, okay. So the only way he could spread Islam was through
sword. There's a poet. Muhammad had a poet with him, Hassan bin Thabit. In his poem, his companion, and his poem, he said, the poem is in Arabic, but I'm going to explain what the poem say exactly. Muhammad, he said in Arab, he said, when Muhammad was in Mecca, people didn't believe him when he was kind to them, talking nice words. But when he moved to Medina and he threw his sword, everyone, accepted Islam. So that's how Islam
So when
spread.
he was in,
no one believed him.
in Mecca because he was there for 13 years, right?
13. You know how many? Only 70.
Only 70. Oh.
Half of them are slaves. They believed him.
And his family and friends.
And because they're poor, and promised them paradise with 70 poor women and wine and clean water. He promised them clean water. You've got clean water here anyway. And you got paradise, and you eat meat all the time, and you sleep, and you get sex all the time. So probably that's why they believed him. So when his life was hard.
But they were pagans to begin with, anyways. So they just didn't care.
So he killed Ka'b bin al-Ashraf, and he killed a woman. He killed a man. Okay, why are you killing a woman? He killed Asma bint Marwan. She was in Medina as well.
How old was
she? A poet. I had no idea how. She had children. She was single. She had children with her. She wasn't. I think her husband died. I don't know about the story of her husband. And Muhammad sent one of his men to her, night time as well. She was sleeping with her children in her house, and he stopped her. And Muhammad agreed to that. It's Muhammad who sent him actually.
So we have any reference for this?
Yeah, there's all the biography go. Ibn Kathir, Sira al-Halabiyya, Tabaqat Qurban bin Sa'd, Sirat bin Hisham, Tarikh Tabari. There is no single one from all these great scholars denying the story. It's a famous story, and you can't deny all these people. It's the real story of biography of Muhammad. There is another story, Qarfa. This is a terrible story. Qarfa is an old woman. She was in Medina. She lived in a different tribe. They called Fizaza. It's outside, very north of Medina, and close to Khaybar actually. And Muhammad sent his son, adopted son, Hassan Zayd ibn al-Harith. And the way he killed her is one of the most terrible way of killing a human. He split the woman in two. Imagine that. She was old woman
With two camels.
with two camels, or
Tied
horses.
her to, and then
And he
split.
took her daughter as slave, and he killed many of the men, and the rest they ran away. And he took her daughter as a slave. He brought her to Muhammad, and she was that woman Qurfa. I forget her the real name. She had she was very wise, very respected in that time, because she was really she was a poet. All she did. Muslims did not, they said no. She tried to kill Muhammad, sending 40 men to his men. 40 men. Muhammad had 1,000 people in Medina. How come the woman sending?
So what's the story there? Did she send people to kill her?
She didn't. She did.
Was she an influential woman with that she would control 40 men to do something like that? What was she?
They have to find the story to the
Okay.
Muslims.
So,
have to find the story.
there's no substance behind it.
There's no
substance.
Most of the scholars, when they biography of Muhammad, none of them mention. Maybe I can't remember, probably two, but the rest, none of them mention she had 40 men, preparing 40 men.
Who gave this story? She had 40 men to kill him.
I can't remember this story, but the story. This is a story mentioned by Tabari, mentioned by Al-Waqidi, mentioned Sirah al-Halabiyya. And Tabari doesn't say exactly what happened to her, but he says she was killed in a terrible way. Tabari said like that, she was killed in a terrible way. So imagine terrible way. So you've got all the ideas. Probably Tabari was shamed for the way she was killed. So he didn't want to go through details. He just mentioned it. Probably Ibn Kathir, I'm not sure, but because Ibn Kathir took a lot of things from Tabari. So we'll mention. But some of them they say is da'if, but Muslim anything they don't like they make it da'if, whatever. So let's go with it.
Yeah.
Number 7, we go to number 7. The Quran and the Prophet the Quran and the Prophet's approval of slavery. You can't deny that. And enslavement of a human being. The Prophet died while he was with the Prophet died while he was with him 34 slave and men and 20 slave women. When Muhammad died, he had 34 slave men and 20 slave women. You go to Bukhari, Muslim, Ibn Kathir, Ibn Hisham, you go Sirah al-Halabiyya, Muruj al-Dhahab al-Masoudi. Sorry, I'm saying this in Arabic because these books you don't find them in English. So Tabaqat Kubra ibn Sa'd, all this is about biography of Muhammad. All these very trusted scholar Muslim. So we're not talking about someone who's not very trusted.
All reliable sources, yeah?
Very reliable sources. And their books exist in any library, any Muslim, any masjid, of course, masjid. Number 8. Prophet Muhammad said, Muhammad said, a believer does not taunt, curse, abuse, or talk indecently. Despite what he said, the Prophet what he said, he cursed himself and he insulted people. And if you go to Sahih Muslim, in the book of Sahih Muslim, there is a whole chapter of Muhammad cursing and insulting people, and these people don't deserve it. That's Muslim himself said. He cursed Muhammad people and he insulted them, and these people don't deserve it.
Really?
So, what kind of prophet he does that? And
His own people are saying they don't deserve it.
And there's hadith to Aisha, Sahih hadith. I don't have the number about that. So, Aisha, 2 men come inside they enter the house of Muhammad, and Muhammad insulted them. They said something, and Muhammad cursed them and insulted them. So Aisha, she was behind the curtain, and she heard everything. And she come to him, Muhammad, why did you insult them? Why did you curse them? And he said, Muhammad, look at the response. He said, Allah is gonna change his curse and insult to good deeds to these people.
So that means if I go and steal, I'll say, oh, don't worry about that. Allah is going to change it into a good deed. I mean, anything bad that I do, Allah will change it into something good.
If it was not anyone, any companion of Muhammad, it won't be a problem. But a prophet himself cursing, insulting people, and there is
Yeah, but the
hadith.
worst thing is he's making, the excuse that he's making is that Allah is going to change it. So Allah is making him do those curses because Allah is telling him, I'm going to make this into something good. So it's good that he's making these curses then. It's actually not him, it's Allah. So, so everything is done by the, they believe in predestination, meaning that Allah wants you to do something. If you do something bad, even that's from Allah, right? Everything is from Allah.
That's why Muslim, you see so many Muslims insulting and cursing, so you don't blame them if their prophet curse and insult people.
Yeah.
So you can, and even Quran, even Allah insulting and cursing people in Quran. So you grow up with this mentality, cursing them. Muhammad insulted before he killed Bani Qurayza. He said, I would say this. He said, they are the children of monkeys and pigs. I would say this to Muhammad. I know he's dead, so whatever. And I said to other Muslims, they are not children of monkeys and pigs. They are children of Abraham and Jacob.
Yeah.
And you remember this. They are not
That's
children of pigs and monkeys. They are children of Abraham.
And Muhammad
Jacob.
has no connection to Ibrahim, does he? I don't think so.
Definitely. He said himself. He said no. He said Muhammad said he's got connection to Adam. So no, everyone is a connection to Adam anyway. But Muhammad said he's got connection to Abraham. Yeah.
Abraham, yeah.
But we don't know this.
But you
that's
know, the only
that's
thing
his
is,
claim. So we don't know.
I just want to say something here because they say in the Quran that Muhammad is the first one that Allah sent to the Arabs, right? Allah never sent anybody else.
No. He sent them. There was some prophet sent to Arab before Muhammad.
No.
I can't remember their name. There's some. Yeah, Salih, I think. There's some.
But there is verses or hadith that says that Muhammad is the first one who's been sent to the Arabs. There's no. We didn't send any. We didn't send any scripture or prophet before you.
Scripture. No,
or prophet before you.
He sent. No, there was a prophet. There was I can't remember. Yahya.
No. What my point is, Abraham came to Saudi, right? He came to Medina, Mecca, right?
So about Muslim.
Right. So how can then they say that Muhammad is the first prophet? What about Ismail?
Kaaba.
Ibrahim built the Kaaba. So that means he went to Mecca.
Yeah, but we don't know if there were Arab at that time in there. There were no Arab. There was no. The Arabs say they come from Yemen. The historian, most of the historians, they say the real Arab, they migrated from Yemen, and they migrated to that land when Abraham built the Kaaba, and they call them Arab Musta'riba. So, and the rest of the Arab from his son.
So when Abraham went to Mecca, who was in Mecca?
No one. There was the desert. There was nothing in there.
So why would he build
He built Kaaba in the middle of nowhere.
For what?
I don't know. Allah chose that place, so we don't know.
I know why he did it. No. I think I know why he did it. Let me tell you why. Because Allah was planning that the ones from Yemen will come here and build a temple here for 365 gods, and they can come and put the statues of the 355 and put the crescent moon also. So that's why Allah was planning for it. That's the plan. Okay, I got it now. I got it. All right. Now I know why it built it.
We go to number 9. When Muhammad conquered Mecca, we know when Muhammad had 10,000 soldiers enter Mecca, conquer Mecca. Muhammad he ordered the killing of 4 men and 2 women, 2 slave women. Imagine that. And these names, I will mention their name. And he told his companion, kill them even if you find them holding to the curtain of the Kaaba, the cover of the Kaaba. And before Islam, anyone who holds is a sanctuary. If someone
safe sanctuary, yeah. So you cannot kill somebody.
You cannot kill someone.
Like over here, like there is a law where if you are in a church, they cannot go and kill you in a church.
And Muhammad, because when Muhammad gets angry, upset from people criticizing him, he loses control. Muhammad completely loses control. And this name was Ka'b bin Abi Jahl, Ikrimah bin Abi Jahl, Abdullah bin Khatal. Abdullah ibn Khatal, he was holding to the curtain of the Kaaba and they killed him. Miqyas ibn Sababa, they killed him before he reached the Kaaba.
But Abraham built the Kaaba, so you know that's a holy sanctuary, right? Because if they say that he built it, then nobody should be killed at Kaaba.
Should be.
So what kind of moral man would do something like that?
The problem here, Muhammad didn't even respect the tradition of the Quraysh, the good character. He said he come to complete the good character, but he didn't even respect the good character of Quraysh.
Wow.
And they killed one of the women. She was only slave. That woman she was singing the poem against Muhammad. That's all. She's a slave. She had to obey. Why are you so upset with the slave woman? I mean, the other one, she was so clever. She converted to Islam. She pretended to be Muslim, and somehow she escaped. She was, someone in fear. Sometimes he can't remember. He can't know what you're doing. That's why the other one she was killed, and that one she was clever and she managed to escape. There is a hadith, I don't want to go through it. It's mentioned one of the people who Muhammad wanted to kill. He was, his name Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh. He was writing the wahi to Muhammad in Medina, and when he found out Muhammad wasn't receiving wahi, he left Medina, he went to Quraysh and started criticizing Muhammad. So that's why Muhammad wanted to kill him. And actually he wasn't killed because his brother Uthman saved him, and he can't go to Hadith, and he found out the story behind it, and it's quite a strange story behind it. The Hadith is quite strange, and it's authentic Hadith.
What's the story?
Uthman brought him, but he wanted to hide in the house of Uthman, that guy.
Yeah.
So Uthman brought him to Muhammad to pay allegiance to Muhammad, and to make Muhammad forgive him what he did.
Yeah.
But Muhammad, he didn't accept. He looked at him, and he turned away, and Uthman kept insisting, and he kept insisting until Muhammad accepted.
Yeah.
After that one, they left, both of them, Uthman and that man, Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh. Muhammad turned to his companion, and he told him, "Why you didn't? What you saw me? I didn't want to pay allegiance to him. Why you didn't kill him?"
Yeah.
They say, "How come, Muhammad? We don't know what's in your soul, what's inside."
Oh,
you.
so Muhammad was like, you should read my face impression and kill people.
So
he's a moral man, man.
But
Muhammad is
the
so
story
moral.
behind it, the story what we want to, Muhammad really want to kill him. That's the main point. But Uthman, because he's rich, Uthman, he was the one who was giving a lot of money to Muhammad. He was really rich. He's from Bani Umayyah, very rich family, very rich in Quraysh. So that's why Muhammad accepted. That story behind it. So you can go to Hadith, biography of Muhammad, and learn about Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh, the whole story of Abdullah ibn Abi Sarh, and you know all the truth behind it. It's very interesting story actually. Number 10, we'll go torturing of prisoners. There was a story, there were 8 in Medina, that's before Muhammad conquered Mecca. In Medina, 8 people come from region Urain. This is close to Riyadh as well. There was a lot of tribes living in that area. They come to Muhammad, and they thought, they converted to Islam, and Muhammad told them to, because they were sick, he told them to go outside the Medina and drink from urine and milk of the camels.
Did he tell somebody to go and bite his father's
that's one
penis
of the
or
insults
something?
Muhammad said, I didn't want to mention it, so that's one of the words Muhammad said,
Why would a prophet of God say something like that?
He said, the hadith said Muhammad, that's why Muhammad said in the hadith, I'll go back to it. He said, if anyone proud of his lineage, tell him to go and bite the penis of your father and do it, really do it, literally.
Yeah.
It's not joking. Thinks why you say something like that? Bite the penis of your father.
Wow. This is not the...
Is it authentic hadith?
I
can't remember if Bukhari Muslim said it, but it's very famous hadith, and Sunni I don't know about Shia, but Sunni, none of them deny this hadith.
Wow.
We talked, he tortured this for 8 people because they stole his camels and they killed his slaves. So they captured these 8, and Muhammad ordered his men to cut their hands, to cut their legs, both their hands, he crucified them actually, and he cut their hands, and their eyes were gouged as well. And after that, they throw them in the sand. And why you do that? I mean, why you? If they killed, okay, if we say they killed slave, let's say it's killed slave, why you cut their hands and legs?
Yeah,
what's the reason behind it? Just kill them. If they killed the slave, let's say they killed the slave. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Just kill them. Don't cut their hands. Don't torture that way. What example are you going to give to the others? What example are you going to give to the companion after you die? This companion, what they're going to do to someone who does the same thing? Are they going to cut their hands? Definitely they're going to do that. They follow Muhammad.
Yeah.
We're going to go something before. There's a very famous hadith about Muhammad before Islam, before he received the wahi. Even Muslim now, they say, even before Muhammad received wahi, he was someone very respected in Quraysh. He's trustworthy. He had good character even at that time. And this hadith about Muhammad, I'm going to go through this hadith. Muhammad wanted to marry the daughter of his uncle Abu Talib. And when before he married Khadija, so Muhammad wanted to marry the daughter of his uncle Abu Talib, and we're gonna go to this hadith. So the hadith said that Muhammad went to his uncle Abu Talib. He asked for the hand of his daughter, and Abu Talib refused. And he told, and Muhammad said why, and Abu Talib gave it to someone else, another guy. And Muhammad told his uncle, why you give it to this guy and you didn't give it to me? You're my uncle. And Abu Talib said to him, honorable woman for honorable man. Or that's the meaning.
So he's not honorable.
Is he not honorable? That's the problem.
Wow. So his uncle was not had a high opinion. You know why? Because I can tell why. Because at that time, Muhammad had no money. Remember, he married Khadija for the money.
He didn't have money, definitely. Yeah, we know about that. Yeah. Did Abu Talib was after the money?
Maybe honorable man is in those days would be the rich man.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So
because he's a poor man, he's not honorable.
And that thing's left a deep thing in Muhammad.
Okay. Psychologically affected him.
He told his uncle why. He wanted him. I told him why you didn't. Why you give it to that guy? You didn't give it to me. You're my uncle. So
did he ask a princess to marry him?
There's another story in Medina, of course, during the Islam time.
Yeah.
In Medina, Muhammad want to. I'm going to mention the hadith because it's a very good hadith. The hadith is Hadith Bukhari 5255. You go to Bukhari, you find hadith. In English, they change a little bit in the hadith, but I'm going to mention what they change. In Arabic, you're going to understand it properly. So we're going to mention the hadith. We went out with the Prophet, some of the companions of Muhammad, went with the Prophet Muhammad to a garden. They went out to a garden called a shout. There's a name, that's a name. Till we reach 2 walls between which we sat down. So they reached in that garden. So the Prophet said to this companion, sit here and went in the garden. Muhammad by himself, just alone, he went inside the garden. And there was a woman, her name Juwayniya. She's a lady from Beni John, she was brought and lodged in a house, inside that garden there was a house. And they brought this lady and they put her in the house. And that lady, she had a nurse with her, or another woman with her. So when the Prophet entered upon her, he said to her, "Give yourself to me as a gift," or marriage. The Muslim, they say, no, he meant marriage. Let's say he meant marriage. She said, the woman, this Juwayniya, listen very carefully to Juwayniya what she said. She said, "Can a princess give herself to an ordinary man?" So the Prophet raised his hand. I want to hit her. In English, they change it, want to pet her. But in Arabic, want to hurt her. So you understand why they change things.
Yeah. Why would he even pet her? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
She's not his wife or related to him.
Muhammad, he raised his hand. He want to hit her, so she might become, because maybe she started talking a lot. And she said, "I seek refuge with Allah from you." This woman said, "I seek refuge from Allah." That word stopped Muhammad. So there was another, don't forget, there was another woman with her, slave woman with her. She said, Muhammad said, "You have sought refuge with one who gave refuge." And so quite strange hadith. It's sahih. And how come a prophet go to a woman and he said, "Give yourself to me"?
And then she rejected him.
So many wives. And she rejected him and said,
called him
a princess can't give herself to his ordinary man.
Oh man!
And why Muhammad did that? Because if you go to chapter 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 50, about the marriage, Muhammad can marry women, and this verse say any woman can offer herself to Muhammad, and some women offer themselves to Muhammad. So Muhammad, so we can imagine how many wives.
This is like the highest moral person in Islam. This is his moral. This is unbelievable. You know, that's why we have the situation we have with the women in Islam. You know, they're not respected.
So after all that, is it right for a reasonable person to say that the Prophet Muhammad had great moral? Did the Prophet Muhammad come to perfect good character or destroy them? I'm going to mention something very important. When Muhammad was in Mecca, and before he migrated, the last night, before he migrated to Medina, the Arab, Quraysh, refused. They want to kill him because they had enough with him. So refused to enter his house during the night. To kill him before he moved to Medina. And they said, listen to the way, that's, they say the one who said that is Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl is the pharaoh of that time, the number one enemy of Muhammad, Abu Jahl said that the Arab, he refused to enter his house because Muhammad had 3 daughters with him. We know that he had 3 daughters. The Arab would say that Abu Jahl terrorized Muhammad's daughters and violated the sanctity of his house. That's the bad. This is one of the character of Quraysh before Islam. Is it bad or is it good? It's up to you to decide.
All right. Wow, man, that's the history of Islam is full of like high morals. You know, that's what they're teaching us, that your West doesn't have any morals, and their prophet had the highest morals.
The problem here is like this is just 10% or 20% who things Muhammad did or less. Muhammad did many more other things. We can mention all of them, and we have to read all this biography of Muhammad. You have to read Tabari, Ibn Kathir, the Sirah al-Halabiyya. You have to go all these, and you see even Quraysh had better character than Muhammad. And Muhammad really destroyed this character, and that's why we saw the result now in Arab world completely.
Well, Islam is from the devil. Muhammad cannot represent the God of the Bible. He can only represent Satan. That's all. You know, when he said Islam is a strange religion and it'll go back to its hole where it came from, like a snake goes back to its hole. A snake, a serpent, represents the devil. Even he himself knew that he's representing devil. Why would he not say Islam will return like the lion goes to his den or something like that? You know, make Islam look better.
Yeah.
Why would he compare Islam to the serpent? Because he knew the character he had. That was in him. That's the truth about Islam. It's like a serpent. It's a snake. It's from the devil.
I'm saying Muhammad wasn't prophet. He was just someone. He had a tough life during his life since he was a child. We know that his story, and he lost his mother. He lost his father. Even
his mother rejected him.
See, that's strange. That's another story. Yeah, he rejected. I mean, how come a mother
would give her child
he was
away,
born,
yeah.
7 days after he was born, she sent him far away in a different tribes and he stayed with them for 5 years.
5 years, and then they say that he's crazy. They bring him back.
They say they send him to learn language, Arabic. How come a child of just was born yesterday to learn language?
Which mother does that?
The most famous Arab in language was Quraysh. The best poet, they were coming to Quraysh to say, if you want to learn Arabic, to be good in Arabic and perform Arabic, you stay in Quraysh. You don't go to outside.
So did you say that the Arabs came from Yemen?
Yeah, historian. That's before. That's we don't know what time. That's really.
Because Muhammad said my religion is from Yemen.
No, the real Arab, what you call them. I lost the.
And there's a Yemeni corner
Arab,
also.
They were living in Yemen. The real Arab come from Yemen.
But then Muhammad is saying that his religion is coming from Yemen. They have a Yemeni corner in the Kaaba. Right now they have a Yemeni corner.
I don't know, but I think there was some Kaaba in Yemen as well before, and this is destroyed. But at the time of there was so many. There was some historian, they said there were about 80 Kaaba of the time of Muhammad.
All right.
The last one was destroyed in near Riyadh, and in 1925, and people were still going to there doing tawaf and stick.
All right, very good. Well, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you. All right, I'm out.